Welcome to the Ancient Romans, a history. In this video, we will take a journey through time to explore the fascinating world of the ancient Romans. From their rise to power to their eventual downfall, we will uncover the secrets of one of the most influential civilizations in history. Images of ancient Roman ruins, statues, and artifacts. The ancient Romans were a people of great ambition and innovation. They built roads, aqueducts, and buildings that still stand today. They were also skilled warriors, conquering vast territories and establishing one of the largest empires the world has ever seen. Images of Roman soldiers, battles, and conquests. But the Romans were more than just conquerors. They were also artists, philosophers, and inventors. They created beautiful works of art, developed complex systems of law, and made significant contributions to science and technology. Images of Roman art, philosophy, and inventions. So, join us as we explore the rich history of the ancient Romans. From their humble beginnings to their eventual decline, we will uncover the triumphs and tragedies of this remarkable civilization. Images of Roman ruins, statues, and artifacts. So, sit back, relax, and let's begin our journey through time with the ancient Romans, a history. The story of the ancient Romans begins in the 8th century BC. At this time, Rome was a small city-state located on the banks of the Tiber River in central Italy. It was surrounded by powerful neighbors, including the Etruscans to the north and the Greeks to the south. Images of ancient Rome and the Tiber River. Despite its small size, Rome was a city of great ambition. Its people were skilled farmers, traders, and craftsmen. They also had a strong military tradition, which they used to defend themselves against their enemies. Images of Roman farmers, traders, craftsmen, and soldiers. As Rome grew in power, it began to expand its territory. It conquered neighboring city-states and formed alliances with others. By the 3rd century BCE, Rome had become the dominant power in central Italy. Images of Roman conquests and alliances. But Rome's ambitions did not stop there. In the 3rd century BCE, it began to expand beyond Italy, conquering territories in Spain, North Africa, and Greece. Images of Roman conquests in Spain, North Africa, and Greece. This expansion brought great wealth and power to Rome. It also brought new challenges, as the Romans had to learn how to govern and administer such a vast empire. Images of Roman wealth and power, as well as the challenges of governing an empire. Despite these challenges, Rome continued to grow and prosper. Its military might, political savvy, and cultural achievements made it one of the most impressive civilizations of the ancient world. Images of Roman military, politics, and culture. But as we will see in the next segment, Rome's success would not last forever. Images of Roman decline. Join us in the next segment as we explore the challenges that faced the ancient Romans and the eventual decline of their great civilization. As Rome continued to expand its territory, it faced new challenges. One of the biggest challenges was how to govern such a vast empire. The Romans developed a complex system of government that included a senate, consuls, and various other officials. Images of Roman government officials and buildings. But despite this sophisticated system of government, Rome still faced many challenges. One of the biggest challenges was how to maintain control over such a vast and diverse empire. Images of Roman territories and diverse cultures. The Romans tried to maintain control by imposing their language, laws, and customs on the people they conquered. They also built roads, aqueducts, and other infrastructure to help unify their empire. Images of Roman infrastructure, including roads and aqueducts. But despite these efforts, Rome still faced resistance from the people it conquered. Many of these people resented Roman rule and rebelled against it. Images of rebellions and uprisings against Roman rule. Another challenge that Rome faced was economic. As the empire grew, so did the gap between the rich and the poor. The wealthy elite became richer, while the poor struggled to make ends meet. Images of Roman wealth and poverty. This economic inequality led to social unrest and political instability. It also made it difficult for Rome to maintain its military might, as the poor were often the ones who served in the army. Images of social unrest and political instability in Rome. Finally, Rome faced external threats from its enemies. As the empire grew, it became a target for invasion from outside forces, including the Germanic tribes to the north and the Parthians to the east. Images of Germanic tribes and Parthians. Despite these challenges, Rome continued to thrive for many centuries. But as we will see in the next segment, the empire was not invincible. Images of Roman decline. Join us in the next segment as we explore the factors that led to the eventual decline of the ancient Roman Empire. Despite its many achievements, the ancient Roman Empire eventually began to decline. There were many factors that contributed to this decline, including political instability, economic problems, and external threats. Images of Roman political instability, economic problems, and external threats. One of the biggest factors that contributed to Rome's decline was political instability. In the 3rd century CE, the empire was plagued by a series of weak and ineffective emperors. This led to a period of political chaos and civil war. Images of weak and ineffective emperors, political chaos, and civil war. Another factor that contributed to Rome's decline was economic problems. The empire was facing a severe financial crisis, with high taxes and inflation. This made it difficult for the government to maintain its military and infrastructure. Images of Roman financial crisis, high taxes, and inflation. External threats also played a role in Rome's decline. The empire was facing invasion from outside forces, including the Germanic tribes to the north and the Huns to the east. Images of Germanic tribes and Huns. Finally, Rome was facing a crisis of identity. The empire had become too large and diverse to maintain a sense of unity and shared culture. This led to a decline in patriotism and a loss of faith in the government. Images of Roman diversity and loss of patriotism. Despite these challenges, Rome continued to survive for many centuries. But in the 5th century CE, the empire finally fell to the barbarian invasion. Images of barbarian invasions and the fall of Rome. The fall of Rome marked the end of an era. But the legacy of the ancient Romans lived on, as their achievements in art, science, and philosophy continued to inspire future generations. Images of Roman art, science, and philosophy. Join us in the final segment as we reflect on the legacy of the ancient Romans and their enduring impact in the world. The ancient Romans may be long gone, but their legacy lives on. From their impressive architecture to their complex legal system, the Romans left an indelible mark in the world. Images of Roman architecture and legal system. One of the most enduring legacies of the ancient Romans is their language. Latin, the language of the Romans, has had a profound impact on the development of Western languages, including English. Images of Latin language and its impact on Western languages. The Romans were also skilled engineers and architects. They built impressive structures, including aqueducts, roads, and buildings that still stand today. Images of Roman aqueducts, roads, and buildings. The Romans were also pioneers in the field of law. They developed a complex legal system that included the concept of innocent until proven guilty and the right to a fair trial. Images of Roman legal system and courtrooms. The Romans were also great artists and thinkers. They created beautiful works of art, including sculptures and mosaics, and made significant contributions to philosophy and science. Images of Roman art, philosophy, and science. But perhaps the most enduring legacy of the ancient Romans is the spirit of innovation and ambition. They were a people who dared to dream big and achieve great things. Images of Roman innovation and ambition. So, as we reflect on the legacy of the ancient Romans, let us remember their achievements and be inspired by their spirit of innovation and ambition. Images of Roman achievements and modern-day innovations. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time with the ancient Romans, a history. Images of Roman ruins, statues, and artifacts.